Welcome to this week's edition of the Go and OB Golf Podcast. This week, you're going to hear some clips from the team meeting that we had this week. That's right, the team meeting, because Go and OB is now a team. We've got Danielle, who has featured on a couple of podcasts recently and done a really good interview last week with Tom. And we're bringing on board Oliver, who is one of the nice guys. Young guy starting out in his golf career, so we're going to be covering him as the year progresses, which is really good. So yeah, got the team together the other day just to discuss my plans for the podcast, their plans for the podcast. We agreed that we would release some of the content from that meeting, just so that you get a bit of a background as to who we are and what happens and how you go about recording a golf podcast. We will not be giving away all of our secrets because we are planning on taking over the golf podcasting world, so we need to keep something back. But yeah, I think you'll get some benefit out of this, get to know us a bit better, and we'll throw in a couple of wee golf questions at the end. So enjoy this week's episode. I feel like I need to do an introduction as well. See, whenever I get that countdown, I'm like...
Yeah, it feels like it.
It feels like I needed to do an introduction. So I've copied you all into that email yesterday. Those were just ramblings from my brain as to what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go with things. So yeah, I was a bit like, we maybe need to have a bit of a conversation, just see where everybody's head is at, and that we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Hello.
All right.
She's trying to focus the camera.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
yeah.
I think it's looking at the dog and sorry. Go for it.
There was a bit of a lag. So, as I put on the email, Danny, you're aware of kind of my background with it. Oliver's the same because we've had a conversation. So, the other podcast wrapped up. I wanted to continue on doing the other side of the game, which they weren't really for. So that's where this has come about. I think we're going to be covering all bases with the three of us that we have here. We have a young up-and-comer. We have a old professional in the nicest sense of the word, you know what I mean? And somebody who can put us all in a room at the same time, which is what I'm bringing to the party. So, yeah, I think... I don't want it to turn into something that becomes a chore and that we need to be like, right, it needs to be 5 o'clock on a Tuesday, that we need to thingy, because life happens and my life is particularly busy with work and kids and whatever else. Yours is the same, Danielle, and yours is now as well, Oliver, having dropped that surprise. I've known Oliver for a good few years now, Danny, right? And we went for a game of golf on Saturday and I'm like, why you got a baby seat in the back of your car? He was like, I'm maybe a dad now and I had a baby a couple of weeks ago.
No way. You don't look old enough to have a baby.
Well, some people might say I'm not.
How old are you?
20.
How old are you? 20.
Yeah.
Oh no, do you know that's a lovely age. That is a lovely age. Yep. Oh, you'll enjoy it. Baby boy, baby girl.
Well, you lagged a bit there, Danny.
Oh, sorry. What's his name?
Logan.
Oh, nice. Well, many congratulations to you both.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell her the weight and stuff, Oliver, because women, for some reason, need to know what the weight of the baby was.
All of those details.
Well, that's why I told you the weight, but you didn't seem too bothered.
No, I was just like, oh, good. You know what though? I came home and I was.
Don't keep me on tenterhooks, goodness sake.
He was £8.15.
£8.15. Okay, yeah. That's a good weight. I'm going to just say Mallory, my daughter, was 9'3", and then Stanley was 10'6". Yeah. I saw you just did not. Your smile dropped there. Everyone's smile drops whenever I say 10'6". They're like, "Sorry, what?" Like that's a year old.
My girlfriend's sister was 12.
Oh my god!
I know, that's quite hard.
That is quite That's the baby. That's 2 babies.
Yeah.
Maybe it was meant to be twins, but it came out as
That's,
one.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we'll never know. I'm Bob on her back later.
That's 4 times what Oscar was when he was born. He was £3.12 because he was preemie. So I was born 9 weeks early. So he was £3.12.
Wow.
So yes, 12's a big baby.
That's
so
mental.
I'm not used to big.
Don't feel like you've got to go. Yeah, you don't feel like you've got to go down the whole feminine baby talk just because you've got now a female on this podcast. You know,
no,
the weight was fine. The weight was fine.
Of course not. That's fine. I know that's all you're asking for. And I came home, Oliver, and I was telling Stacey, I was like, Oliver's had a baby, and he was like, she says, oh, that's really good. What did you have? Had a wee boy. What's his name? Logan. What weight was he? I was like, oh, he never told me that. Because I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, you remembered the name.
She's like, oh, typical. Boys having a conversation about babies. That seems to be.
You did well though. Name, you did really well.
Yeah. All the important stuff. So as I was saying, so this is the team I think is the right team to take it forward. It's nothing too serious. We will record bits and pieces on a weekly. If Danielle's got an interview teed up, you just crack on and do it. If Oliver's got one, he was looking for a few folk today, so if you've got them, I've got a couple of things lined up. Essentially, we can all do our own thing and then come back together under this one umbrella. Then, because we're going to have the one banner, right, but we're 3 separate people and we've all got our own journeys on the go here. So my personal one is I'm going to do these lessons with a pro, try to get better, and then chart that, right? The ups and probably loads of downs of me trying to get better. Oliver, you've done the couple of the disability tour stuff at the moment, and you're looking to do that going forward into the year. I think that's a great story that people would want to hear. And if we can try and get a bit of assistance for you, try and get you to speak to the right type of people. Danny's played on the tour, so she knows what it's like to get onto a tour, how you go about these type of things. So we'll lean on her and we'll get some advice and pitfalls of what you should be looking out for and what you should be doing. And then, like I said, once you do become world number 1, we get the first interview. That's the only thing I'm asking for from you, is that we get the first interview. So you need to confirm that on camera so that it's legally binding. Yeah. So do that now.
Yes, you will get the first interview.
Perfect. Right, that's good. That's recorded. 23 minutes into this podcast. I'm keeping that.
Oliver, his accent is not as strong as yours, Craig. Where are you from? Like, how close do you guys live?
About 5 minutes away from each other.
It is
what do you mean?
Though,
Who's got a stronger Scottish accent? Me or
him? You.
Me.
But is that because I've not heard Oliver speak like a long sentence, but it just seems like not easy. I can understand the blimmin' Scottish accent very easily. One of my best mates is Scottish, but he doesn't seem to have the same strength of accent as you. Right.
Maybe. And I talk really fast as well.
Yeah, you do.
Which is a Scottish trait. Oliver talks a bit more delivered. Maybe that's where that's come from.
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. So
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I love the way that. So Oliver's got, like you said, he's got his journey, which is, I think, going to really appeal to a lot of people, and that could gain probably more traction than yourself and me, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yours is good because you're obviously fronting it and everything. Am I going to do more interview stuff? Like, would I be based like what I've done with Tom this time, like in terms of a bit more interviewee based, and then obviously whenever I'm playing golf or I've gone to the range and things like that? Is that kind of where my role comes in, other than just the old has-been?
No. No, that's the point I was trying to kind of get. Your role can be whatever you want your role to be.
Right, okay.
If you take a bit of inspiration from this, and like you said, you're going to start doing the the family side of things, which is away from golf, then more than happy from that one. If it's decided that, having spoke to Tom the other day, because I could tell the two of you are like, you miss it, right? Was what come across from me was that although you are kind of playing decent level amateur stuff, I think there's still the itch there for the two of you to be like,
good.
We could have, shoulda, woulda, coulda type thing. Yeah. So if that's where you decide you want to go with things, then perfect. If you want to do the benefit of your experiences, you can do that. If you want to do, we'll all be doing interviews. So we'll all try and get interviews with a different type of people. Obviously, your ones will be different because of the nature of people you know compared to who me and Oliver know. So that will be invaluable as well. Going forward.
That's fine. Obviously, I'm gonna run it past you, just because I think it's, I don't want to go down the wrong route, or not necessarily wrong route, but just like too samey. I think also as well, where I like the podcast where you're also seeing the videos. Like, it's not just audio. I think it's always really nice to see someone laughing, or, the banter that you have when you're having that chit chat and everything. So I was going to go and see if I was going to set up a podcast with Ali, who's one of the top Callaway club fitters. She fitted Andy Murray the other week, I think I told you, in the Callaway Centre and stuff. And she was a college golfer. She's now playing off +4. She's played loads and loads of national events this year and finished like 4th in one of them. And she definitely has the desire to go to tour school. I'm going to see if I can do sort of almost like a couchy podcast with her, see how the audio comes out. And once we've got, say, 10 videos up on YouTube, the analytics of that will definitely show us what people are enjoying listening to the most. And then we can hone in on that and try and do almost snowball for the first 6 months of what is tracking best. And then as we get our following, they're going to listen to whatever we put out because they like us as people. So that's probably one of the best ideas. I think, ways to go. But I think having that variation of what we're doing is brilliant, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think. And as much as I said, as much as we're going to have the one banner, right? So we're all under the Go and OB banner. We're all individual people. So, and we're all bringing different things to it, which is, again, why I want to separate each of our Instagrams and do our own thing, but they all link back into the one kind of feed, so that we're all our own personalities, right? And like I said, Oliver, if we can, like, for you to try and go into these tour things, I know we discussed it the other day, it's like £100 an event and it's whatever else. I think it'd be good if somebody was to come to us and be like, see that young guy that you've got that's really trying to get out onto the tour and he's whatever else, I want to back him. That's fine. You do your own thing.
That'd be great.
You feed back in the story with us. If Danny does more of these couch talks with Danny, these type of things, perfect, right? If that's where you think that we go, and then I'll continue doing kind of my bits and pieces. And it is the YouTube thing I think we need to try and get into, because that is massive. But
it's huge. Yeah,
it's a minefield to try and navigate how you get around it. I'm watching. I was on like a social media for business thing on that Business Gateway, so I am looking into these type of things.
It's a minefield, though. I've tried to get into it for ages.
Like, if I can't make it next week, you do have a conversation about something. If Oliver doesn't make it, it's me and you, Danny. If none of the two of you are free, I'll record something. We just need to, as you say yesterday, keep in touch so that we've got a bit more of a schedule. So
and if we've got maybe like a freer Sunday and we've got a couple of subjects, we could maybe record 2.
Yeah.
Stop it, go on to the next subject and record 2. So we've always got that little, because like you say, Craig, life happens, and Oliver, especially now that you've got a tiny one, life definitely starts happening quite seriously. And I just think if like you do get that Sunday or like a Tuesday night where we're like, actually, this is flowing really nice. Do you want to chuck in another half an hour? Because actually, once you're in it, to create another half an hour, we could probably bumble on for another half an hour now. But if you had a structure, you could probably smash out 2, maybe 3. If you come in, no crapping about with like how's you doing or whatever. Like we're going and doing this, doing that, and you've got 3 episodes there within like an hour and a half.
Yeah. That was one of the big do. Yeah, and that was one of the big things. So that's where like the interview side of stuff will come. So we can bank as many interviews as we can, and we've got stuff on the shelf that if we need something because we can't make it one week, we put out something like that. Or if we've got something that becomes like good timing, like I'm not. Say we had an interview with Rory McIlroy, for example, and then he goes and wins a major, right? You chuck out that interview. So at least we've got stuff that we can put out from there. So, I think we're in a good place. We try to keep it. I don't want it to turn into a chore, which is the main thing, right? So if it gets to a stage down the line where you are thinking, God, I've got to go and try and think of somebody, then come to me and speak about it, and we'll have a discussion as to how we can make it, because I do not want it to turn into that. Until somebody comes in and says, I'll give you a couple of £1 million to buy it off you, then we're having a different discussion, right?
Yeah. Then we'd be like, well, do you know what? We like this 40-minute conversation each week. Meh.
Yeah, exactly. Then we'll make something a bit more of it from there. So, right, a couple of things before we go. I appreciate we started this video and we just decided to have a talk, and you said hello, Oliver, and Oliver said hello. Right. Oliver, for the next wee minute or so, can you give Dan, or just give us a bit of a, I am Oliver, I've been playing golf for such and such, this is where I got into it, this is what I did last year, and this is my plans going forward. Again, nothing serious, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, it's more just introducing yourself to Danielle.
Hi, I'm Oliver. I started golf about 7 years ago. I started at a wee 9-hole course called Wee Braids. Then I moved to a place called Liberton, which is a nice 18-hole course. Since then, my passion really kind of grew. And I started really getting into it. Then I found the Disability Golf Association and started playing events with them, and hopefully carry on.
Fantastic.
Hey, you missed out how me and you started knowing each other. You're supposed to say, I was a junior there, and Jake came in and he changed my life and he made me realise there's like a future out there for this game and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. No, well, at one point, Oliver, we will dig into the troubles of junior golf and how difficult it was for us to kind of grow the game. And we'll tap into Danielle, because I don't know if you managed to listen to kind of our first interview and then the one she did last week, where golf in England seems to be set up to help young junior golfers develop, right? So you've got all these teams, you then become a county player, you then become a whatever. They have that in Scotland, but not to the same level as much as I am aware. And a lot of junior golfers, it's their second sport. So they're coming along, they're playing with their parents, or they've got a membership because their parents are a member there. I mean, that's why Oscar joined, because he was getting it for nothing and I was there. So it was a bit of an excuse to be able to get him out of the house. But he then never carried it on. So it's, why are we losing kids to other sports in Scotland when we've got such a big history of having major champions? So we will put that on ice at the moment, because that is a conversation for another day, and we can look at the kind of differences between what it's like from golf in England and what it's like for golf in Scotland, and we'll pick that up again at another point, because I think that's a really interesting topic.
It is a really good topic.
It's one I'm keen to try and get to the bottom of, and then see if there's something we can do to help maybe develop it, and see what we can kind of do from there. together. So my question for you this week, before I let you go, right? I watched the ladies golf on Sunday, and it was, let me get the right title here because I don't want to do it a disservice because then I can't talk about it properly. The Buick LPGA Shanghai, right? So I don't know if you saw it.
Saw some of it, yeah.
But it was won by the Chinese girl, Ronnie Yin, and she ended up winning it by, I think it's 6 shots. But on the last hole, she finished at 25 under, and the girl from Japan was 19 under. But on the last hole, the 3 of them had played into the green, right? Ronnie Yin was the furthest one away. So ergo the rules of she should play first, but she's got a 5-shot lead, and she's only like 20 feet for the hole. So she's not going to take 4 shots to get down from there. She went first. So she went first, putted out. She actually made it for the birdie, right, and got the birdie, and then kind of celebrated, and then had to clear the green while the other girls finished up that were playing for 4th and 2nd and whatever, right? So is that rule of like, if you're going to win it, it's just an unofficial etiquette part of it, or you think she was hyped up to be like, I'm ready to go, I'm just going to go and play this one? To me, it was a bit bad patter for the other couple of girls that made her go first because she was the furthest away. What do you think, Danny? Or have you had an experience like that?
I think it's kind of just that unwritten rule of if you are not going to win it and the person that you're playing with is going to win it, you just get your ball in that hole so that they can take over the green. People can run on and spray water or champagne, depends on where you are. And how wealthy your friends are. And yeah, it's kind of, it's that unwritten rule. You just get, as the competitor that's not going to win it, you get your ball out the way first. So if they're not good friends, you might have a case that like, well, do you know what? She might not hold that 20-footer. Therefore, she's going to be close to the hole. She'll mark up. We'll finish ours, and then she'll finish hers. But if she rolled in that 20-footer, do you know what? They probably just didn't think she was going to hold it.
Yeah.
But maybe they just didn't think that she was going to hold that 20-footer. And I think, I can't imagine that they would have been like, nah, we're going to go, because it's such an upheaval of getting people to get off the green again after celebrations, calm everybody down, and then you've got to go and hold out. Because at the end of the day, they're still trying to earn money to get 2nd and 7th or whatever. So, yeah.
I just hadn't, it's not something you see very often, because it's normally that.
No, it's not.
As we're saying, like, if you're the one that's winning it, you've got a 4-shot lead. 4-shot lead at that point. Yeah, 4-shot lead at that point. You're not going to be, the chances are she's not going to take 3 to get down for there. So just knock your ball in and move, right? Was my kind of, what are they doing? I thought, I better bring this one up.
Absolutely.
It is one of these type of things that's like, oh, I wonder what that was about. And the other quick thing was that brought me on to like etiquette on the course. So what's both of you, what's your main bugbear etiquette-wise on the course? Like the unwritten rules, or even some of the actual written rules that you're supposed to do that people don't do, that gets on your nerves.
Mine's got to be when you're putting and someone just dumps the flag down and it's like in an eye line, and the unwritten rule is like, the etiquette is roughly being aware of people's eye line, where you're putting the flag, tucking the flag underneath the pole so the wind doesn't flap it. And then, so mine's all to do with that pin. If I was putting last and Dave will hold out, I would automatically walk over, grab the pin and get it ready to put it back in the hole. I have played with countless people where they've holed out and they've gone and put their putter in their bag. I've holed out and I've got to go and get the poxy flag.
Yes.
And I sit there and I'm like, you what?
Yeah.
Sorry. It really annoys me.
Yeah. If you've already putted out and the flag's and you're finished, then you're effectively the caddy for the next person that's finishing up, and you replace the pin.
Yeah,
Yeah, you replace the pin. But you're right, Oliver, I agree with you. The one with the divots is the main one for me. Like, I don't understand how some people, they leave absolute craters on the green, right? And they know where their ball is hit. So, sometimes you're a bit like, oh, is that one mine? If you've got to ask the question, is that one mine? Just repair it anyway. It takes like 10 seconds. And I'm not a good putter at the best of times. So trying to putt through the surface of the moon isn't really beneficial for me going forward. So, that was just something that annoyed me when it was on the back of that etiquette thing. I better ask the question. So, there you go. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of the Go and OB Golf Podcast. That was just a bit of an insight into the types of conversations the team have about how to put the best show on for you guys. We do have our new social media. It's on Instagram. It's Going OB Pod. So please reach out on that. We are in the process of building a website, and we're going to get other social media up and running. Potentially a couple of adverts and a couple of interesting collaborations coming in the future. So please, if you've enjoyed the show, give us a like. Please subscribe to the podcast. We are also building our YouTube channel, so there'll be videos going out on YouTube normally a day or two after the podcast's released, and we try to get the podcasts out every Sunday. So until then, thanks very much again for listening. Cheers.